Hello everyone, today's we are talking about new express entry draw and post-graduation work permit new update. Ontario, British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, and PEI invite candidates in latest PNP results, and IRCC extends transition period for distance learning measures to December 2023. Welcome to the latest immigration update. Today, we bring you exciting news from several Canadian provinces as Ontario, British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, and PEI extend invitations to candidates in their latest Provincial Nominee Program, PNP, draws. Additionally, we have updates on the transition period for distance learning measures extended by IRCC until December 2023. Stay tuned for all the details you need to know. 5 Canadian provinces have invited candidates to apply for nomination under the Provincial Nomination Program, PNP. Through the PNP, provinces select the economic immigration candidates who are the most likely to integrate successfully into the provincial workforce. Provincial governments find these candidates either by selecting them through the Federal Express Entry Application Pool or accepting applications from candidates who apply directly to the province. The PNP can exist because immigration is a shared responsibility between the federal and provincial governments. Each year the federal government allocates a specific number of nominations to each province, except Quebec and Nunavut, which do not have PNPs. By the end of 2023, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, targets to admit 105,550 new permanent residents through the PNP. Provincial immigration results. August 26 September. Ontario, on August 30, 772 candidates received invitations through the Master's Graduate Stream of the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, OINP. The draw was general, meaning no occupation was specified, and candidates required a minimum score of 44. To be eligible under this stream, candidates must be international graduates with an Ontario master's degree, have a Canadian language benchmark, CLB, score of 7 in an official language, and sufficient settlement funds. They must also have lived in Ontario for one of the past 2 years. British Columbia PNP. British Columbia held its weekly draw on August 29. The province invited more than 150 candidates from the skilled worker and international graduate streams over 4 separate draws. The largest draw invited 102 candidates in a targeted draw for tech occupations. Candidates required a minimum score of 88 to be eligible. The remaining 3 draw results were as follows. 1. 28 early childhood educators and assistants. 2. 20 healthcare professionals. 3. Less than 5 invitations for other priority occupations. 4. Candidates in each of these draws required a minimum score of 60. Alberta, the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program, AAIP, has released the results of a draw held on August 24. The province invited 168 candidates through the Family Connection and Primary Occupation in Demand stream. This means that candidates have an immediate family member already living in the province, such as a parent, child, or sibling. All invited candidates in this stream are also express entry candidates. In this draw, they required a minimum comprehensive ranking system, CRS, score of 302. Manitoba PNP. Manitoba held its first region-specific draw of the year on August 30. In this draw, 288 candidates in the skilled worker stream of the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, MPNP, received invitations to apply for nomination. To be eligible, candidates needed to declare in their profile that they are currently employed in Manitoba and already live, or intend to live, in a community outside of Winnipeg, the provincial capital. They also required a minimum score of 600. Prince Edward Island, PEI invited 22 candidates through the Labour and Express Entry stream of the PEI PNP on August 31. The province says the invitations were issued to individuals working in the healthcare, manufacturing, food processing and construction sectors. Since September 2022, the province has invited 2,602 candidates in total, with 97% of all invitations issued in the Labour and Express Entry stream. IRCC extends transition period for distance learning measures to December 2023. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, has announced they are extending distance learning measures that were implemented throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Students who completed less than 50% of their PGWP eligible studies outside of Canada will be eligible for a post-graduation work permit, PGWP, until December 31, 2023. Before the pandemic, all international students needed to complete no more than 50% of their studies online, and time spent studying online outside of Canada was not counted toward PGWP eligibility. Due to the inability to travel throughout the pandemic, IRCC removed the online study restriction for those students who began PGWP-eligible programs between March 2020 and August 31, 2022. This means anyone who began their studies overseas prior to August 31, 2022, can use 100% of that time towards their PGWP eligibility. For a student who started their studies between September 1, 2022, and December 31, 2023, only 50% of the time can be counted. The measure and current extension does not apply for students studying abroad after September 1, 2023, regardless of when they began their studies. It also does not apply to students who enrolled in programs after August 31, 2022. What is a post-graduation work permit, PGWP? A PGWP is an open work permit for international students who want to remain in Canada to live and work after they complete their program of study. Because it is an open work permit, PGWP holders are able to work for almost any employer in Canada. The length of the PGWP depends on the length of the program of study, and they can last as long as 3 years. IRCC's update notes that if a student spent time studying at a designated learning institution, DLI, while outside of Canada, that time begins to count toward the length of the PGWP only after the department receives the study permit application. To be eligible, students must have 1. Completed studies in an academic, vocational, or professional training program at a DLI that was at least 8 months in length. 2. Received a transcript and an official letter from the eligible DLI confirming that the applicant has met the requirements to complete their program of study, which will be included in the PGWP application. Those who stay in Canada on a PGWP after their studies can use any work experience gained towards getting permanent resident status, as many federal and provincial immigration programs value candidates with Canadian education and work experience. Outro. That's all for today's immigration update. We hope you found this information valuable and informative. If you have any questions or need further assistance with your immigration journey, please don't hesitate to reach out. Remember, your path to Canadian immigration is just a step away, and we're here to help you every step of the way. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to keeping you updated on all things related to Canadian immigration. Until next time, take care and stay tuned for more exciting news.
That is over today in video. Thanks for watching entire video. Hopefully information useful to you. See you later in next video.